Sparking Change with Gigi, a show that aims to make the world a better place by bringing together authentic minds. This show encourages each of us to be the change we wish to see in the world. Get ready to be inspired and join us on this journey to create a brighter future for all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparking Change with Gigi. Today's show, we are going to be talking about the power of unstoppable determination. And my amazing guest is absolutely a person that is so dear to my heart because we know that when we're determined to serve with our heart, we become unstoppable. So with no longer ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Linda. Welcome. How are you, Linda?
Hello, everybody. Greetings from Sydney, Australia.
Welcome.
The place. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. We met and you spoke about all your accomplishments and what you're doing. And I know we made such a great connection because your story and my story are so alike. You know, even our very beginning journey of being on this world, we both come from two different countries and we were determined to really have the American dream, right? And make it a reality. So love to hear your story, to share with everyone, you know, where you started and how we met and where you are now today.
Yes, I just like to add to, while you are achieving your American dream, I was achieving my Australian dream. But we are on the same planet, right? Same world, same earth. We are connecting, life now, so it doesn't make any difference. Basically, we all have dreams.
Absolutely.
And you achieve yours and I achieve mine. And that's why we're here to share with everybody, to encourage with everybody. We met very, very nicely through friends. And that's what my whole book is all about, right? Connection is the currency to happiness. When we connect with friends, we are no longer lonely, no longer being separated. We're together, and together is more joy. And occasionally I remind my children, I don't hear you guys say it anymore these days, but when I was little, we used to say this little thing, say, a ring has no end, and that's how long I'll be your friend.
I love that.
And it's just really, really cute. It really articulates the word connection. Yeah. It's nonstop and it's infinite. And that's what true connection is all about, is that it's not one way, right? When only one party wants it and the other party is not into it, you don't have a true connection. And true connection is both ways, right? It's both ways and a continuum. And that's when you truly have a continuous bonding and relationship. And I don't know how I get into that. None of my speech are planned. I never script my speeches. I think what I was trying to say is that a friend connected us. And Sung, if you're watching, thank you for connecting us.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, it's Napoleon Hill community that connected us, right?
Absolutely.
So I first met Dawn, amazing Dawn Green. And then through Dawn, I met Sung, and through Sung, I met you. And that really, truly, truly articulates the idea of my book. It's connection. It's the currency to happiness. I mean, especially during COVID, we all know that, right? We all felt it. We all gone through it. When we are in lockdown, can't see our friends and family, how miserable was it, right? So truly, connection is the currency to happiness. And I often remind people, happiness is your most treasured form of wealth.
Absolutely.
Happiness is another form of wealth and is your most treasured form of wealth, especially during COVID. It's proven that more than ever, right? It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're the king or the queen. If you had COVID, if you're unwell, you just cannot be happy. So therefore, happiness truly, truly is another form of wealth and is your most treasured form of wealth. So work on that, everybody. While you work on your dollar, your million factor, work on the happiness factor as well.
And that's something that comes from within, right? We need each other to build that happiness, but it all starts from us really getting out of the bubble. Because when, like you said, COVID created, separated us. And when we're separated, there's no unity. And when there's no unity, there cannot possibly be happiness, right? Because we are all in that circle together. I mean, even my logo, right? Sparking change. It's a circle. Like I always say, get out of the box and step into the circle, right?
Yes. And you touch on the point so quickly. When you said unity, that leads to my 3 hearts. 3 hearts is an extension of the book, and 3 hearts stands for love and connection for ourselves, and love and connection for each other, and love and connection for the universe. So the more we practice that, the more we'll be able to, attain our happiness. And when you say from within, it's so true. That's why heart number 1 is for ourselves first. Because when we have love and connection for ourselves, we're then able to share that love and happiness and connection with other people. And now it's going to go a lot deeper than that. Okay. Yes. So like I said, I love live conversations because it's never planned. We go with the flow. We go with the energy on the day, on our mood. The message of 3 hearts is a lot more than what people can see. When I first founded 3 hearts, I was like, what on earth is this lovey-dovey heart?
Yes,
what on earth is heart doing in the business world? Well, let me tell you, if you practice the philosophy of 3 hearts, we can literally have the power and access to world peace. Let me just put that out there now. And this is not the first time I'm talking about it. How do we achieve that? When we have love and connection for ourselves, we are kinder to ourselves. Yes. And when we are more kinder to ourselves, we are comfortable in our own skin. We can forgive ourselves of the hiccups, we can celebrate ourselves of our wins. We don't need other people to give us permission to be who we are. So Absolutely. When we do all of that, right, all of that, I know I say in a few words, but it does take effort. It does take time. When we have done all of that, we are so-called more comfortable in our own skin. Then we can relate to others better. Then we have more compassion, more understanding. Then we can reduce the friction and the conflict. And then I'm going to continue with the then. Yeah. And then we can build more harmony. With that alone, you're in America, I'm in Australia, you have Italian background, I've got Chinese, Vietnamese, Asian background, right? Yes. We are crossing time and space and cultural barriers, right? So when we are more comfortable with ourselves, we can relate to others better. That's where we reduces all the barriers of differences, biases, multicultural biases, and racism. That alone, if we could abolish racism, that alone is already a lot of world peace. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. It's understanding who you are as an individual, right? And what you bring to others, because we're all here to really support each other in a greater way than we're doing now. And because
Absolutely. Yes. We all play a part, like I share in my book, right? Yes. The farmer grows the crops. The truck drivers bring it to the supermarket. The chef cooks it before we can go and say, dining, have a beautiful meal, or even cook it at home. So we all play a part, and no job is small. Everyone is equally important. Like I share in the book, right? Even if you're the janitor, don't ever underestimate the power in you, especially in COVID, right? If you didn't keep everything clean, even if we have the doctor, we wouldn't have survived.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why we need to extend this 3 hearts philosophy far and wide. Heart number 3 is love and connection for the universe. That's when you care about, the animals, the nature, sustainability, the environment, the religion, everything, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why the philosophy of 3 hearts is a way of life. When people ask me, oh, Linda, you started a movement, because it's been 4 years now and we have transformed lives during COVID, especially. Mm-hmm. And I would remind everyone that I personally don't think, it's okay what everybody think. If they think it's a movement, that's great too. But I personally don't think it's a movement, because to me, movements, as the word says, it moves and it goes, right? Whereas for me, I think it's a way of life where it will last for generations to come. And that's the vision for Three Hearts. It's for generations to come. And it's just a philosophy of life. And then people will say, Linda, how on earth did you start that? I didn't just start it. Three Hearts is in my DNA and how I was born and how I was raised. Let me tell you why and how. I was born at the end of the Vietnam War. I was born at the end of the Vietnam War. I had absolutely nothing, not even color pencils. Now, when we hear these days, when we hear about war, we go, oh my goodness. And then when they say 6 months ago, oh my goodness. Imagine this. Imagine, put yourself back in time, long, long time ago, when a war was going on for 30 years, Gigi.
I know.
30, not 3 years, 30. I mean, how on earth can a war go on for 30 years, right? So every single night, I would be on my knees next to my incredible mom. We would pray for world peace every single night at exactly 7 o'clock, no change, since the age of 5. I wish I could share the photos with you, but you can only imagine. It's black and white. This little girl, frowning head, even at the age of 5. That's the only photo I've got left, and I showed you before. And so to be born in that kind of environment where everyone is suffering right around you, you can't help. You can't help but grow up with this surplus of emotions. And so growing up, I was constantly told, oh, you're just too sensitive, because I would cry very easily. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so then that formed a misleading or a wrong identity to myself. I kept thinking that I was too weak, right? But not until I have my children, become a mother, not until I explore gifted education, then I understood that, that is actually my gift, that I have this surplus of emotions for others. And that's when I realized that, all my life, this is how I am. And so Three Hearts is not just now, the last 4 years. I formed it in 2019 before COVID, but it's literally in my DNA how I grow up.
I was going to say, you discovered your gifts. You discovered your gifts through the adversity that you had in your life.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
Tapped into really, truly what you bring out to people now to help them get out of the dark, as I call it, and into the light with your gifts.
Thank you. Thank you for articulating that. But so Three Hearts is an extension of the book. So one step backward to the book, let me share a bit of story on my author journey. So I was a coach. I started Link Coaching first in 2016, right? Very soon that year, my dear dad, who was 92 at the time, was amazing. Still live by himself, cook by himself, go out by himself, which is incredible, right? Still telling jokes and positive. I was like, I don't know how he did it, right? But unfortunately, on New Year's Eve, he had a fall. He had a fall and broke his hip bone. Like all seniors, the minute you fall, the hip goes first, unfortunately. So I had to go through this process of relocating him to the nursing home. Now, for me to say that, it's just one sentence, relocate him to the nursing home. But at the time, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. At the time, it was a long, hard process because he was 92. He doesn't speak English. He only ever eat the cultural food, Vietnamese, Chinese, Asian food, right? Well, besides the McDonald's chips occasionally, the American McDonald's chips.
French fries, right?
So it was a lengthy process to find the right place for him. And through this lengthy process, I just realized that mom's no longer here because she's gone a long time ago. And I so wish that she was there for him, to nurse him. I have to travel an hour and a half each time to go and see him. An hour and a half to come back to pick up my kids from school, to be the mom. And so I just realized that, hold on, my kids never got to meet my mom. When they were born, she's already gone. And in this moment of reflection, just realizing that I have actually achieved every single dream I had so far at the time before I published the book, before I formed Three Hearts, before Coachable, right? I had formed Link Coaching already, but I had traveled the world. I've been to Alaska 25 years ago. I have started my bridal shop back 23 years ago. I won awards. My designs was in wedding magazines. I help brides beyond the wedding dress. I have also done teaching. These are all my early childhood dreams and more, because when I was little, I didn't even have color pencils. Not even color pencils. I did not even see what a computer looked like before I came to Australia at the age of 15. I was a blank to this world, did not speak a word of English. And yet, miraculously, I had been able to achieve every single dream I have so far. So in awe of gratitude, this incredible mom, I'm like, oh my God, mom has raised me to go from zero to be able to live all my dreams. And in all of this gratitude, I thought I just have to write a book for my kids to introduce grandma to them. So it was pretty much just connecting the generations, the two generations. Connection is everything to me. And I don't mean to just say it. I mean truly, deeply in your heart.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the kind of connection I'm talking about. So literally, I just want to connect her with the children, grandma and grandkids. And of course, to share all the amazing things about her and to share my hardships. It didn't come easy. Even though I said I achieved all of my dreams, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of tears and a lot of challenges. So I thought before I grow too old and forget it all, I'll write it for them. Something incredibly happened. After I wrote the first draft, I saw on the news of 2 teenagers who took their own lives due to cyberbullying. Now, I don't know these teenagers. One was on the news. One was a friend on a Facebook group. The one on the news, I normally don't watch TV. I don't watch news because it saddened me too much. I was literally just signing into my Yahoo email. And this girl just popped up, she was like staring in my eyes. I felt like beautiful tan skin, brunette hair, green eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, more than a model. And yet the story was that she has taken her own life due to cyberbullying. And I just could not stop bawling. I just could not stop my tears. And I'm just like, I don't understand someone so beautiful could have done that. What caused her to do that? And I just could not stop shedding my tears for her mom, for her, for everything, for the world, really. And then the very next day, I signed into Facebook. At the time, I wasn't much everywhere because I was still really quite private. Mm-hmm. But the group owner, the group is for healers. And I was in that group, one of the very first groups. And she said her 11-year-old son in Australia, in Queensland, I am in New South Wales, has taken his own life at school at the age of 11. It's just like, oh my God, like by then I was like holding my head, like, I can't digest. I couldn't take it. And again, I just could not stop the tears. One more story. I barely shared this one. The other story is a coach was also on a Facebook group. Now, I never met her. I've not even commented on her post. We're not even friends. We're just in the same group of coaches. This is back in 2016. We all trying to establish our business, to be our own boss, live our own dreams, being a coach to help others. She said, yay, my boss has given me 2 days off so that I can build my dream job, which is my own coaching practice. And that was Friday, 11 o'clock Sydney time. Now, remember, I live in your future. Yeah, so it was her Thursday evening, my Friday morning. I'm like, yay, like I celebrate. I love celebration. I always celebrate friends. amazingly, something happened that night. Now, I don't know what had caused me to do that, because at that time, I don't ever check Facebook in the middle of the night. Now I might do because of so many projects going on and global context. But back then, I never have. It was the first time I just opened my phone right at midnight, and her buddy said, "Pray for Caroline. She's in the hospital." And again, I never did that before. So I just put one emoji. Now you see, I always do 3. Yeah. But back then it was just 1. And that's the first time I used the emoji ever. And I don't know what happened. At 3 a.m., I checked it again, and she's gone. She's gone. There's no notice whatsoever. Again, I could not stop my tears, because I was thinking, I am so blessed to be able to achieve all of my dreams, touch wood, that I continue. Yes. But she's just about to achieve a dream. You know, it's like in her hand. She's about to achieve it, and yet she's taken away. And at that time, at that moment in time, I still have goosebumps coming up every time I tell this story. At that time, I thought, we all have to go one day. We all have to. But wouldn't it be amazing if she could live her dream first before she go? And again, in all gratitude that I've been blessed to live all of mine, I just thought, like 3 events consecutively. Yeah. It was actually her story first, and then the 15-year-old girl, and then the 11-year-old boy. And because he's the youngest, it tipped the scale. That's when I felt like I had to do something. I feel like the universe is speaking to me, right? It couldn't be 3 stories like this consecutively. I have never cried for anybody like this, except when my mom's passing. When I heard of her passing, I could not stop my tears from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. By then, I was exhausted. I had a nap from 6 to 8. My kids wake up, go to school, because we live near the school. They don't have to get up too early. And after I send them to school, husband go to work, I thought, I'm fine. You know, I've cried enough. But oh no, I could not stop my tears. They just keep coming. I mean, I'm giggling now. I'm smiling now about it. But at the time, it was heavy. It was heavy. And so out of 3 consecutive events, I just thought, it must be a message. You know, it must be the universe speaking to me. And that's how I live my whole life. I'm very intuitive. I really tune in to the messages that I receive. And that's how I achieve all of my dreams and goals. So I advise everybody to do the same. So then I felt compelled to share the book. That's when, so I wrote the first draft for my children. After I get that compelling feeling, that message, that guidance, so-called, I decided I need to publish the book. And that's how the whole journey began. And as soon as I decided to publish the book, the vision of 3 Hearts came. I just thought that if we have safe space for people to connect, these 2 children might still be here. And with that compelling feeling, once again, I took action. Yes. And I launched 3 Hearts. So the journey goes like this. I started Link Coaching, then I write a book, then I formed 3 Hearts. And from 3 Hearts, through the journey of 3 Hearts, at the beginning, it's just out of my altruism and compassion that I want to help people, that I formed it. But on the journey, I have learned that there's over 300 million people are suffering from depression, according to the World Health Organization. And then I also discover there's a report shows that 72% of entrepreneurs have self-reported with mental health concerns. Why? Because we have to do everything ourselves, just because we want to be an entrepreneur, be a business owner at the beginning before we can pay for staff. We are everything. You know, we're the marketer, we're the sales, we're the admin, we're the accountant, we're the digital marketer, we're the everything, right? That's why we get burnout, and that's why we feel lonely, because we're always on our own. And so with that insight, once again, I took action. Now, that's one side of it, entrepreneur being lonely, burnout on their own. The other side of the equation was that I have a number of coaches who got used to see people prior to COVID in networking events, and that's how they get clients. But after COVID, it was very difficult for them to get clients. And so as a result, they had to go back to a 9-to-5 job. Now, again, that pains me. It pains me because I thought as a coach, we help others to achieve their goals and dreams. But here, my friends, these coaches have to forego their goals and dreams because they can't get clients. It does not sit well with me.
Well,
so
yeah.
once again,
and I truly believe that there's a message in that as well, because
so
I think you study Napoleon Hill, Principles of Success. And, there's that part of when we're determined, right? When we have a desire and we have goals, if it's a burning desire, you don't give up your dreams. You don't give up.
It's like this flame that you cannot tame. You just can't. You just have to do something about it. And so with that compelling feeling, I launched Coachable. Coachable is a platform for coaches to list your offers easily. You can put your offer in there in a matter of minutes. And very minimal cost. You don't have to pay like $220 a month for just one offer. If you just have one offer, it's as little as $27.
Okay,
and so I want to make it really, really easy for all of us to live our dreams, for all of us. And yes, you touch on Napoleon Hill. Let's discuss that.
Yeah, I want to be able to give the audience some strategies, right? Not of how they can go about to really achieve their dreams, because we're all here to want more out of life. We're here to have more and be more and do more. And, you mentioned before about working on ourselves first is so crucial, right? We're going to take so crucial. We're going to take a short commercial break, and then we're going to come back and really talk about how we can tap into our gifts to help us achieve our goals. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Now, the vast majority, approximately 95% of the people of all countries, go around and around without aim or purpose. They drift with the circumstances of life, good or bad.
A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind.
Whereas the successful individuals create their own circumstances and ride them to victory.
When you're on purpose, you're living on purpose. You will never quit if you have a real purpose.
A burning desire to be and to do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. But what I have done has been recorded, it's been tested, it's being taken to a free world, and it's going to benefit millions of people who are not yet born.
And it's going to benefit millions of people who are not yet born. We're some of those people. That we're spreading this to the world. As your awareness grows, the doubt is gone, so that you can manifest whatever it is your heart desires. Isn't that beautiful?
So, and I love that commercial, because I think from what I heard you say in your story, Linda, you have a purpose. You have a purpose to really change this world, to make this world such a better place. Tell us some of the things that you had to go through to break through the barrier of success.
Wow, where do I even begin? There is so many. To be where I am, achieving every single goal I have, every single dream I have, that's traveling the world, when I literally had motion sickness. When I was little, I couldn't even get on a bus. I literally was grounded in my little corner of my own home. That's a separate whole. Each of my dream journey could be a book on its own.
Did you picture, because you remember you said you didn't even have color pencils. So back then, if you didn't have the color pencil, I'm going to say you probably didn't have the pad either to write your dreams on the pad.
No.
So everything started in the mind, in your imagination.
Absolutely. Growing up, I was constantly told, Linda, stop daydreaming. I was a really dreamy girl. I
Yeah.
literally sit there and daydream away. Now, remember this, okay? When I say daydream away, it literally is from my pure imagination. Why? I had no color TV. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have iPad. I didn't have color pencils. I had none of these.
Yeah.
I am literally a living proof of using your mind power every single journey.
That's one of the principles that Napoleon Hill teaches, is the imagination is your workshop.
For me, it's beyond the workshop.
And everything.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I was going to say, everything is created twice. First in the imagination. Now, like, let's even take and then in reality, we take your wedding dress business. You had to visualize that wedding dress, then sketch it, then make it.
Absolutely.
So if that is how dreams come true, anybody and everyone can make their dreams come true. I had a
anybody
discussion.
Can. If this girl can, anybody can. I had nothing. I literally had nothing when I was born at the end of the Vietnam War. After coming to Sydney, Australia, I did not have the language skills.
Right.
I didn't have friends.
Right.
My parents were already in their retiring age. They couldn't really support me in a sense of, like, send me to fancy school or get the tutorial teacher to accelerate my English speaking. It wasn't like that. It was me hardworking, holding the dictionary everywhere I go, right? So
you're literally talking my story. You're speaking my story. And, but again, what you had was that burning desire to be someone, to do better, to achieve goals. And, I know for myself, I needed to really be disciplined, right? It wasn't about go out and have fun, although that is always should be part of our life. But when you're determined for success and you want to achieve greater things, the fun gets put on the side a little bit. And you're so focused on your dreams that you let nothing stop you.
But may I ask, may I add this part? I do have one rule for myself and my children, even though it's been really hard work and many hardships. I do have this rule to myself that I don't do anything if I don't enjoy it. So it is fun for me. So it's kind of like very interesting. Everything in my life is like a opposite come together.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a lot of hard work, but I love it. It must be fun at the same time.
But yes, of course, what you're doing as your dream, totally get that, right? When you're designing your dresses and you want to make, it has to bring joy, right? What you're doing, that's your gifts. If your gifts will bring you joy, absolutely. If you're not in a state of joy, you're not doing what you like. I agree. But what I'm saying is working really hard when you went to school to become a doctor.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
You cannot possibly go out and have fun and go to the bars and enjoy yourself if you're focused on getting your education.
Yes.
So, and that's kind of like what I meant. But when you when you finally reach your you use your gifts in whatever you're doing, it has to be enjoyable. And that's a great thing that you brought out, because many businesses do fail because they're going for the money. They're going after how much money can I make versus how can I serve and do I love what I'm doing, right?
And I guess the reason why I brought that up is that I want everyone to be aware that we work hard. That's the work ethics.
Of course.
You do your work diligently, sincerely, wholeheartedly. That's the hardworking side.
Yes.
But what I was cautious of is that so many people are burned out. And so I did not want to give the wrong impression or the wrong message that I'm this crazy hard workaholic person get all to my dreams. So basically what we want to say, what Gigi and I want to say is that you follow your heart, follow your passion, work hard at it, and then you will achieve it. But while on the journey, make sure you do work that brings you joy, that is out of your passion, that serves a purpose, right? And so I guess that's what we want to say is clearly, yes. So that's all I want to say. That's all I want to clarify.
No, that's beautiful, Linda. And I think if we look at people who are successful, the work that they do truly affects others, right? It becomes more a humanity driven purpose that we have that makes us successful, because anyone who's successful has not done it alone.
It's teamwork. Success is a team sport.
And success leaves clues. So, hence again, everyone can do it if they have determination to not let anything stop them. I was having a conversation with someone, and 98% of the people will look at the masses on what they're doing, and they say, I can't do that. Look, 98% of the people are not doing it. And my thing is, why can't I be the 2%? Who says I cannot be that 2%? Well, common sense says if 98% didn't achieve it, what makes you think you can achieve it?
Well, let me say it this way. Yeah. I don't know what percentage I belong to, but all I know is every single human being, we all mostly have the same capacity. One brain, two eyes, like mostly, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that we all have the equal opportunity. Even though I was born at the end of the Vietnam War, I'm on a whole different part of the world, but it still didn't stop me from achieving what I achieve now. So basically what I'm trying to say is that don't worry too much about which percentage you belong to. All you need to know is that you deserve it.
Of course.
And go and get it. When I say go and get it, I don't mean just go and get it. Go and work on it. Work on it, and you will achieve it one day.
Tell us some of...
Sorry,
absolutely.
We're vibing at the same vibe, so we speak at the same time. I was just going to say, no success comes overnight, right?
Right.
It all requires hard work, diligent work, and wholeheartedly kind of work. At the same time, I was going to say, but at the same time, work smartly. Work smartly. Don't just go about working hard. How? Why? Simply, like I share my journey, right? Events happen in your life. If you don't pause, reflect, and think and feel, you are not going to be able to make the wise decision that you could have had. So I saw the news of the girl. I saw the news of the boy. I heard about the friend, the coach who passed away. If I didn't pause and think and reflect, it would just something go by. Yeah, I cry about it. It's a bit sad, and that's it. I move on, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to tap into yourself, your intuition. Who are you? First of all, who are you? Who are we? You need to understand yourself first.
Of course.
That's why heart number one is the first heart out of the three. When you know yourself, when you know your core value, what makes who you are, I know compassion, it's just me. I can't escape that. Like growing up, it was very painful, I tell you. It was very painful because I cried too easily. And you know how it's like when you're teenagers and you cry too easily. Oh, you're just a sook.
No,
I don't know how you say in America, but that's how we say it here. So it wasn't easy, but you got to know who you are at the core of your being.
Of course.
When you find out who you are and you can embrace that, that's power. That's when you become truly who you are. And once you have empowered yourself to be who you are, truly who you are, and be comfortable with that, we're ready. we're ready. That's when you
right.
can achieve anything you want. Nothing's going to stop you. So far, anything that had inspired me, it can't stop me from taking action. Even many a times when I have no resources, no money. Okay, I'll give you one example. Coachable is a SaaS platform. I'm not IT. I am not an IT expert. I'm not from IT. But still, it didn't stop me from doing that.
Yeah.
The book, when I was growing up here, I was constantly told, your English writing is terrible. Your grammar is horrible. Still, it didn't stop me from writing the book. And the book has transformed so many lives. Many readers have become published authors from just reading the book.
But you know that,
including academics.
that's
Sorry,
so
you
beautiful. Because as a teacher, and you're an educator as well, or was an educator, we know that these little words of your grammar is not good, or just making these negative remarks can really hurt a child to kill their dreams, right? And you absolutely took it and just let it go and focused on what you wanted versus what happened in the past and what you were told in the past. I love
I
teaching.
didn't just let it go. Can I just add this
Yes.
before we move on?
Yes.
I didn't just let it go. I actually use it as the fuel for my power to move me forward. When I was constantly told that your English writing is so terrible, I tell myself, okay, now I wasn't upset. I didn't resent them. I literally accept my reality. I shared that in the book too. We have to be so true to ourselves. We have to look into the mirror and be so true to ourselves. Everyone wants to be praised, right? Everyone wants to know that we are good. But when you can truly face your reality, that's again power. So I tell myself, it's so true. My English is not good. But hey, guess what? I have compassion for myself. I was not born here. I came here at the age of 15. How do you expect me to be so good? So self-compassion
So
is your
important.
fundamental. No one's going to back you if you don't back yourself. You have to back yourself all the time. And that's how I back myself. I accept it. I face my reality. I back myself. It's okay. My writing is not good. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to be ashamed of myself because this is my reality. But what can I do about it? I work hard on it. I work and work and work. And that's where you mentioned earlier, the hard work comes in. It was not easy. It was not easy. And the where I say that it must be fun and joyful, what it meant is that I must love what I do. And I did. As hard as it was, I loved it, right? Because I want to be better. I don't want to be constantly told that, your writing is terrible, your grammar is horrible. It's still not perfect now, right? Because as authors, we have editors. That's what editors do. But I am a lot better, right? But so basically what I'm trying to share is, because you asked me to share my journey, how I overcome it. How I overcome it is to face yourself full on, see yourself for who you are, know your core values, believe in yourself and back yourself, and then keep going forward. Don't let anybody stop you just because of whatever they say. Whatever people say, sometimes they don't mean it.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, some teacher could say some remarks. Sometimes they don't mean it. Sometimes it's out of eagerness or out of frustration. But even in the frustration, it might not be that they don't have kindness. It might just be the hurriness that I want you to be better because I can't care for you so much. Because I have once been in that situation before, right? Without knowingly, after I reflect back, it wasn't like I was criticizing that person or making that person feel bad. It was just like, I want them to be better so much, and then I said something and then I go, oops, that wasn't very nice, right? So just know, if you ever have anyone say unkind words to you, let me undo that for you, okay? Let me tell you, they might not have mean it. Some people might mean it, but majority of the people, they don't mean it. It's a lot of carelessness, or sometimes just absent-minded. Sometimes we just blurt out things. So don't take it too hard. And you can cast those unkind words away and give yourself an enormous amount of self-compassion, back yourself, so that you can keep believing in your goals and your dream and just keep going forward.
I love that. I came across one of my mentors mentioned there's 4 fundamental things in life for us to achieve success, or just the basic, really to even get us started on the staircase of success. And the first fundamental thing is, like we just mentioned before, is to love yourself.
Absolutely.
That is
You
number one. That is the foundation.
Yes.
It's the foundation of everything. Number 2 is to forgive yourself and everyone else. So when you do experience something like that, where someone says something bad to you, as you said, Linda, maybe they were having a bad day. So forgive, because it releases whatever emotions that came out of that from you, so that you can move forward. So forgiveness is not for them, it's actually for yourself. Number 3, do not judge anyone.
No.
Do not judge anyone.
No.
Because you don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know where they're coming from, what's going on in their life.
I love it how we speak at the same time. We're so vibing. Exact same vibes.
Yeah, we truly have the same mission, and I think that's exactly why we're vibing. And number 4, repeat number 1, 2, and 3 always. And with that, you are open to the ladder of success, because you're viewing everyone in a sense as kind as possible, to not create enemies. You're leaving yourself open with an open heart, is what I'm trying to say, with everything that we do. I love your story, because it is truly authentic, genuine, and you've taken, your vision and your leadership is about truly helping others succeed in this life. What is your definition of success, Linda?
Wow. Okay, that's a good question. What's my definition? I never really thought of it. I never really put any weight on the word success, really, because success is not really a concrete term to measure one's life or achievements. So I don't really use that word much, to be quite frank. But if I must put a definition to it, it's when you are at peace with yourself, when you know that you've done your absolute best. It's not, to me, it's not measured about the dollar, not measured by the name and fame. It's not measured by what I have materially. To me, success is when I'm finally at home in my heart and feel at peace, feel that if this moment in time I have to go and I have no regrets, that is success, right?
Yeah.
And now I wasn't going to share this because none of this is planned. Since you ask, I will share. As a parent, right? As a parent, we will never know whether we've done a good job or not, right? Except our children graduated university, they have a good job, they get married, they have kids. Now, do we truly know at one point they're truly happy or not? Sometimes, because in life, there's always curveballs, there's always challenges, right? So there are times that we can measure it like that I've done a good job. But I still thought I wasn't sure until my child tells me, hey, I'm getting a bit emotional, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm sharing. At this young age, before he turned 19, this is just yesterday, right? Aaron, if you hear it, I hope you don't mind mommy sharing. On the way home, on the train, sunset comes down. He said, I had a moment of reflection. And he said, I just realized at this point of my life, I'm content with everything. And I thought, that's a humbling moment as a parent. That's a humbling moment as a parent. Doesn't mean that he hasn't got, like, it's not like he's got financial success or all these worldly material stuff yet, right? But at such a young age, before he turned 19, to be able to come home and say to mom during sunset time, I have this reflection and I really feel content with my life. Perhaps that's what I call success, especially on my parenting journey. Because, and if I was to go today, out of all of these achievements that I have shared just now, that will have to be my biggest achievement. And that's why, I just feel moved to share. I hope my son wouldn't mind because he's a very private person. But you know what, usually I always ask them for permission before I share, but I guess this is my parenting journey, right? So I have the right to share.
Of course. And I'm sure you feel very grateful for that message, because I also think that message was meant for you to hear, for you to share today, because contentment is something that comes within us. It's not something that we feel from things that we have, but from our own values is what creates contentment. So,
and that's what my whole book is about. It's about finding your contentment. And I guess even though I did not know clearly why I wanted to share that story, but as you pointed out, I guess my intuition guidance is to share with everyone that when you measure success, it doesn't have to be the worldly materials. No, it doesn't have to be your private jet, your Lamborghini, your beach house, your however big business, $1 million that you make. It doesn't have to be that. Once you know your true core value, the definition of success will be very different to you. Yes, and I think that was the reason why I wanted to share that, especially when it just happened last night. He literally just told me that last night. And so I thought that was really humbling to know that my son at this young age can say that I'm truly content in my life. And that's so humbling, very, very humbling. Well, and they are my inspiration to start offering coaching professionally. I was always helping people my whole life, as I shared with you in our private conversation, and I shared in the book too. In a matter of 5 minutes, I was able to break people's fears down, break the barriers, give them strategy, literally teach them how to start business. But I never thought I was a coach or business coach, right? Until I embarked on my parenting journey. I was always helping other parents to enjoy the journey. And it's through the gifted education, which is inspired by my son, right, that I thought, this is what I've been doing my whole life. And that's when I flew to America, San Diego, to train as a professional life coach. So this interview, I'm going to have to keep a copy for them as a keepsake.
No, absolutely. And you know what? Coaching, I mean, there's so many different names, right? Mentor, coaching, and we had it all. We had teachers who were our mentors. We had our parents were our coaches all our lives. And then we go out into this world and we're like, we're all left alone. So the importance of coaching, I firsthand experienced it myself with my mentor. It has totally opened me up to a whole new world, right? To understand what my potential is, my true potential, understanding who I am and what I'm capable of doing. So, kudos to you, because I know you're helping to really change lives with your coaching. I want to also bring out, we, at the Napoleon Hill Institute, I'm going to share this event that's going to happen next week because it's so important about, you mentioned peace within, peace of mind comes from understanding and learning how we can truly become who we're meant to be, how we can serve, how can we find our true gifts. So I'm going to share this other commercial and we'll be right back.
In a world of constant motion, and ceaseless distractions, finding a moment of peace can feel like an elusive luxury. The allure of technology, the demands of everyday life, and the perpetual rush often pull us into a whirlwind of chaos, leaving little room for quiet reflection. Where success is often equated with hustle and grind, there exists a longing for something more. Could there be another way? Well, in 1967, the famous author Napoleon Hill answered this very question. He published his final book, Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. He discovered that true success isn't just about accumulation. It's about finding harmony within oneself and with the world around us. One that honors both ambition and inner peace. Rediscover Napoleon Hill's timeless wisdom. Think and Grow Rich with Peace of Mind, an online event that dares to challenge the frenetic rhythm of our modern world. Something is coming.
That is so awesome.
I tell you, we literally spoke, and you didn't know that was coming.
No, I did not know.
Our conversation led to exactly what everyone needs in their life is a peace of mind, because this is where the peace of mind gets transferred to a peaceful world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is the work
especially if you're leaders, right? You know, for all the leaders in the world, whoever happens to be watching, if you're a leader and you lead with love and compassion, which is Three Hearts' way of life, there's no way we could have war. There's no way we could have war.
Absolutely.
So Three Hearts, with Three Hearts, I constantly remind people is to live and lead with love and compassion.
I love that. I love that. We're going to bring this to a landing. Thank you so much, Linda, for joining me today. It was an honor to have you share your story. And I know that if anyone wants to reach out to you, they can go to, where can they reach out to you?
They can go to Linda Duong, Duong, lindaduong.com.au, and you can actually get a free introductory chapter of my book.
Beautiful.
And yes, and you can get in touch, whoever, if you also like me to be on your shows or collaborate, just email me, linda@lindaduong.com.au. Awesome. Find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Let's connect. Let's connect and make the world a better place.
That's it. That's what we're here for. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us on Sparking Change with Gigi, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me on Sparking Change with Gigi. I hope that our episode today has ignited a spark within you to create positive change in your own life and in the world around you. To learn more about how you can become a guest or supporter, head over to sparkingchange.now.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to me, and it helps me to continue producing content that sparks change in each of us and the world. You can find us on various platforms, including Google Play Store, Apple App Store, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to having you join me again next week on Sparking Change with Gigi.